Everybody, I am BoboTheVulture, and this is Let's Play Sega Genesis Flashback bonus games, because they're a little bit of extra in our lives. We've already checked out Adventure in the Park, Air Hockey, Bomber, Bubbles Master, and Cannon, which means it's time to check out Checker, which I believe, as we noticed at the end of the last video, from this preview, does not really appear to be a game of checkers. Maybe similar to the game of checkers, in that it has, it looks like it's one of those pegboards, which you jump one character over another, which is kind of like checkers. Let's go examine it. DevWorks has sound in this loading screen. That's awesome. Yeah. Come on. Time for checkers. What? Yeah. This is... I'm loving the Tectoid DevWorks music. They were making games for... I guess Tectoid was continuing to make... I don't know if they were all cartridge loading systems, but they were making, like, game systems off of Sega hardware, like Genesis hardware, Master System hardware. Like, up to now, I think, even. But they'd be like multi-cart style ones. Let's check out the rules to Checker. The Checker game is composed of one board and 32 pieces. It is only for one player, which goal is to leave just one piece on the board. There are several initial positions for the pieces. Been the most common that one where all holes are filled, except the center. The capture is made by the jump, since the next hole is free. Each time one piece jumps over the other, the last is removed from the board. Pieces can only be captured on straight line, which means it is not allowed to capture making curves or diagonal. The game proceeds in the sequence of jumps until it gets impossible to capture another piece. To select the piece to be moved, or to cancel the selected piece, press any button, A, B, or C. Good luck. I guess they don't count X, Y, or Z. I just only hope that now that you guys are hearing this pretty sweet music. Let's play it. Alright, what is our modo de yogo here? We got the standard, cross, plus, corner. We got a cross and a plus. Corner, diamond, arrow, and pyramid. Let's start with a standard, I guess. I reckon. The standard looks a lot like a plus or a cross. Red, 3-2, red, 3-2, hut, 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 hut. Okay, so you don't click again to move, you just press the button once, and then hit the switch, and it automatically does the jump for you. Let's hope I know what I'm doing. Why spider triangle? Think if a piece had a choice in jumps, it'd let me select the jump. I don't know, man. I don't know what motivates these pieces. I'm not a wizard at these puzzles, so we may be in trouble. We already seem to be in trouble here. See, there's no way to go back and get that one now. There are pieces, you loose! There are pieces, you loose. I gotta stop loosing at these. Let's go back to menu and try a different formation. Every time we loose, we get looser. Now remember, the one I used to have was a pyramid. That was the modo de yoga that we had. But I'm pretty sure that the rules for that one, like, it was set up in so that the rows weren't all parallel to each other. And it literally was that you hopped them like checker pieces. Let's see what the difference between the standard and the cross is. Oh. Okay. Oh no, there are pieces. I loose. Even looser. This one seems like possibly there is more good planning that we can do here. Remains one. I won. Burn. Let's go back to the menu. I've shown now that I have the ability to do it. We got the cross. Let's try the plus this time. Oh, things are getting fancier all the time. Remains one. I won. Alright. Clearly, if they limit the number of pegs that are in here, and I just have to do a little bit more strategic thinking, then I'm far better off. I just get too distracted if there's all those pegs in there to deal with. That's just too much to manage. That must be what's happening. Let's check out corner here. So this is corner, everyone. That was probably a mistake. Let's see. That was a bit non-stop run of mistakes. There are pieces I loose. That's fine. We can always try again. Getting closer. Also, the music in this game is great. You remember that one musical theme? Now our music is... yeah. It's that. Yep, there are pieces I lose. We could do Funky Town if we really wanted, sure. We could do the rhythm of Funky Town. Funky Town does have multiple tones. Bup, 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 bup. I think I was on the right track there, though. See, I took a completely different tack to getting those last two pieces in place. Watch Bobo try puzzles, everyone. Now I'm just bound and determined not to have the same end position. I found many different ways to reach this end scenario, but it's always that one, and I always lose. Let's try it again. Ah! Maybe I'll come back to corner. Let's take a look at all of the different arrangements. I don't want people to feel like they're missing anything in the game. We've seen what happens when we win. We've seen what happens when we lose. Let's make sure that we at least check out all the different patterns. This is diamond, by the way. Shine bright like this. Trying to reach everything up in that corner has left me so lost and without potential moves. Hey man, this is hip hop. We hype it to the hop and then we don't stop rocking the hype. There are pieces and I lose. I'll give that one another go because that seems only fair. So now I've sort of arranged this. Oh dear, simple. This is the progressive era game. Yeah, well, hey. If we have pieces and they're loose and we're loose, then we should be able to find places for our pieces. I don't see what the issue is. Interesting, when I select reverse in this mode, that happens. Could always go into the menu and save the game, because we found out that save states work in this. We are playing this on the Sega Genesis Flashback console, or a Sega Genesis Flashback console. At Games, which had been releasing a bunch of had been releasing a bunch of Genesis ones. Sort of like the NES Mini or Super Nintendo Mini, except much poorer execution on the one hand. On the other hand, they have cartridge slots, so I can load a game into this. Looks Android-based, looking at the clearly non-Genesis pop-ups. Well, yeah. Oh no, and then we come down to this moment. And there are pieces and we lose. But yes, it would appear to be an Android-based Genesis emulator console thing. So loose. Let's go back to the menu. And as I was explaining before, Lethal, a bunch of the bonus games, quote-unquote bonus games in this, are games released by Tectoy, which was the Sega distributor in South America, based out of Brazil. And down there, they still sell Sega Genesises. Sega Genesis. And so they were developing games for them long into... I think they still sell Genesis and Mega Drive based consoles in South America to this day. So they were developing games into the 2000s, which is why, it seemed really weird when, I don't know if you remember a few years ago, Crazy Bus was a thing that people would find the ROM for and chuckle at. And then they would be really surprised when they're like, wait, this is a Genesis game, but it was produced in the early 2000s. It's yeah, they were still developing Genesis games. So let's see, that was Diamond, right? Let's take a look at Arrow here. It's pointing up. Crazy Bus was the Crazy Taxi demake. I could see that. There are pieces and I lose. I didn't do very well on that one. I swear I got 2 of these puzzles right. Clearly not giving nearly enough thought to these hopping puzzles. This is probably very infuriating to at least some of my viewing audience. That I seem to be incapable of solving basic peg jumping puzzles. There are pieces. One of the things at least that is throwing me off about this is that every other peg jumping game I've ever played is on a diagonal grid. It's not horizontal jumping, which theoretically should make it simpler because it's just straight up and down. You're not thinking on angles, but that's how I'm used to thinking of these. Not going to use that as an excuse. I am being rubbish at this checker game. But let's check out Pyramid just so that we know. Yeah, like the one of these that I had when I was a kid was a wooden pegboard, and the pegs were arranged in a pyramid like this, but they were all set on a diagonal grid. They were not set on a vertical horizontal grid. And the idea was that you would jump them like checkers, as opposed to the checker in this game. Time to rotate the monitor. I don't know, like the pegs are still like spaced in a different way. I got all kinds of excuses if you want to hear them. Yay. We'll give it another shot because that's how we do it. This is how we do it. There, now that one's back in the fold. That seems like it's important. Aha! Now we've narrowed it down to the cross shapes. It's like the 90s again with Montel Jordan and Genesis games. Huh. Safe state. That's an idea, isn't it? Alright, let's sure, why not? Let's overwrite the save state from the last time that we tried save stating in the middle of a checker jump game. I've won the cross version of the game before. For anybody that's joining us later, I did manage to win one or two of these before, and it would be nice to round this session out with a W. Remains one. I won! We did it, everybody. That's checkers in a nutshell. Go ahead and allow the somewhat subdued, somber, especially for this bright, shiny, star-spangled background with the goofy checker letters going on. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and round out our session of checker with that. But this was good fun. Remains one. I won. Hey everybody, we won. We're winners. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see y'all next time. Bye for now.